If you're a consumer like me, it is clear that you pay some taxes on any product that you purchase, right? So, or maybe any service that you render, right? Okay, now how do you pay the taxes? It's very, very simple. So, if you are new on this channel, this is where we explain the meaning behind the mathematics for you for a better understanding. But if you're already here, you know how you have been doing this thing on this channel. Now, here's the mathematical term. So, given that P of S is equal to 2s and our key of s is equal to s squared and minus 1, find the range of this guy here, right? So this is a composite function, right? So whatever you want to call it, that is your own case. What we aim here is what understanding for the domain of these people, -2, -1, 0, 1, and then 2. So how do you do that? This is how we are going to solve the problem here. Now, assuming this is the first company here, right? So this company here, they are interested in what in selling some of our best products. So maybe you may list your best products in the comment section below, right? What you like and enjoy most. Now, this second company here purchased from the first company, right? So the scenario is very, very simple. So, okay, this is the owner of the product, right? So this is the owner. So we may call this company the manufacturer, right? So this is the owner of the product, and then this guy here go and purchase from the first company. So we want to enjoy that product, right? So in this failure, you see any charges that this person will pay, then we are going to pay for these two companies. Is that okay? Because the second company here, once you purchase from the manufacturer, this company here, you are going to pay the charges that they put on that product, right? So the scenario is very, very simple. So how much are we going to pay if you purchase that product? Right, so we are going to purchase that product straight from this manufacturer that passes through the second company before it got to us. So how do you do that? That is just a very simple scenario. So this domain here is telling me that there are how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people that are purchasing this item, right? So this product is. So we want to determine how much each person would pay as a tax on that product. So that is what we are calling the range here. Is that okay? So each charges for these people here is what we are calling what the rate. If this thing makes sense to you, if you are new here, why don't you give us a thumbs up or maybe subscribe to the channel or comment down below if you have any issue relating to it. So let's see how we can do that here. So how do you do that? You first of all need to have a machine, right? So a machine that can determine how we are going to calculate what the charges or the task for each individual. So P of Q of S, right? So this is a composite function. So Q of S followed by P. Right? So this is going to be equal to. So we have our P here. So P is the first company. So you see, these people pays the charges for the first company. So we have to replace this thing by this equation here. That is the x squared and then minus what? Minus 1. Right? So now what is the charges? How much charge are these people paying here? So this is the functions of what, or this is how this first company here used to determine their charges. Right? So pay 2 of the x, 2 of anything that you are using to purchase the item. Right? So 2 of the x. So this thing here, s squared minus 1 tends to be our. So 2 multiplied by everything in this thing. That is going to be 2 of what, s minus 1. S squared minus 1. Right? So this is going to be 2s squared and then minus 2. Is that okay? So this is the charges that we are going to what to use in what, or this is the machine, this is the function that we are going to use in determining how much charge each individual here pay as what, as tax as a result of what consuming that product or purchasing that product. So now let's start from here. So this is our machine here, right? Is okay? Okay, so let me start from here. So we have P, this guy here, P of what? Of what? -2. That's the first person. So this guy may purchase that item on what? On credit. Right? So that's why you are having a negative there. So negative, that's the 2 of the -2 squared. And then minus what? Minus 2. So this is going to be 2. This guy will be 4. And then what? Minus 2. So this will go to be 8, and then minus 2, and then this is equal to 6. So in the long run, you can see that this guy that purchased the item on the credits of what, £2, $2, 2 whatever, 2 naira, 2 cities, 2, depending on the currency that you are enjoying right now. we are going to pay $6 or £6 of that in the long run. Is that okay? So this is for the first person. What about the second person? Why don't you pause the video and give it a try? So just congratulations for just trying, right? Is that okay? So now there's a very very important thing. That's why you need to stick to the end of the video and check that. So P of what? Negative one. Remember this P here is not going for this P in this case. So if you want to write this thing clearly, it means that this is supposed to be P of, this is in mathematical notation, this is what we are looking for, right? So P of that's a Q of what? -1. This is how it's supposed to be. So after solving for so mathematically, this is what it's supposed to be, right? So this was just a very simple way in doing that calculation. For exam's sake, this is what you're supposed to do. Right, that's why I say you should stick here to the end and then capture all the tricks what in solving questions like this. So here we have P, K of -1. What is the K of -1? You have this thing here. K of the -1 is tend to be -1. Have you see this? -1 squared and then minus what? -1. So that's going to be P of -1 squared, just 1. 1 minus 1, that is what? So it's going to be P of what? Of 0. Right? So this P of 0 here will go into the P value. So what is the P value? This guy. Is that okay? So we remember we see that P is or 2 of the x. So this guy tends to be the s. That's going to be P. So 2 of what? Of 0, which is still equal to 0. So mathematically, this is how you have to represent or solve your problems. Is that okay? So if this guy also pitches on -1, I don't know which system is that. So it means that this guy is not going to pay any tax in the long run. So if you can do this calculation, then all of us will borrow $1 or a pound of what, £1 or $1, and then go and do that transaction, purchase that product, so that in the long run we are not going to pay any tax on that. Is that okay? Just kidding. This is for understanding purposes, right? So now I have 6 for this guy. I have what? 0 for the second guy. What about solving for 0? So solving for 0 here now should be, that's a solving. Okay, by the way, that is the consequences of talking too much, right? So P of the Q. So Q for sure. I wish you can pause the video and then give it a try. So right. It's very very important. So trying something without fear of making mistake, that is how easy you can understand the concept, right? So you have P, so this is going to be 0 square and then -1, and this should be equal to P of what? Of 1, right? So taking 1 and plug that into this function here, that's going to be, that's going, everything this guy here tends to be, so 2 multiplied by 1, that is equal to 2. So I have 2 for this, right? So okay, once I have 2 for this, you see, look at, I will leave this part for you. So solving for 1 and the 2 will result in the same answer as what? -2 for -1. Why? The question here is why. So what I mean by that is I'm going to have, if I solve for 1 here, I'm going to have what? 0, and then if I solve for 2 here, I'm going to have what? -2. Why? So the answer, so the solution is to be equal to 0 again, and then solving for the 2, we had what? 6, and then 6. This is what we are going to have. These are the charges that they are going to pay in the long run for all these people. Now, for mathematics sake, in writing the range here, it means that this -2 is going to pay the same tax as those who are paying what? With their cash, right? And then -1 is going to pay the same tax as for those who are paying with your cash of 1. So in writing, it means that this guy and then this guy and then this guy, this -2 and then 2 are going to the same person, and then this -1 and then 1 are also going to the same person, depending on the information that we are having here, how they choose to charge their taxes. So how do you write the range here? So your range here should be, because this and these two people are going to, this should be 6, 0, and then 2. Only 3 of them. Is that okay? Because the 2 people are going to 1 person, they are paying the same time. It's being repeated. So this is what our range. if you gain some value from this video, make sure that you give us a thumbs up, right? So once again, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Thank you for watching.